Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is my second video for the day. I mentioned in the prior video that it was just too much. Even that video turned out to be over 20 minutes long. So I'm going to cover another video now. It's going to be more of today's information as opposed to yesterday's, along with my thoughts. I am once again going to thank you for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate that. Please like if you like the material I'm presenting. Please subscribe so you can get notified when hit that bell and you can get notified and come back when I put another one up. It's encourages me actually to keep going and to keep making these videos. This is DK. We'll talk about it. We got to go ahead and get started. Now you're going to hear a little growling and a little whining. I got an American pit bull named Lady. And I got a little black dachshund named Cinnamon, black and brown. Cinnamon is bulletproof and 10 foot tall. Lady's a deer heart, but they like to fight, play fight. Let's get this video going.
Check the mic and make sure it sounds right.
I hope it sounds right. We're going to talk about news and rumors and opinions from Dinar Recaps on Saturday, today, 10/2/2021. It's 8:11 p.m. my time, Central Standard Time in the United States of America. Not so united lately. But nonetheless, moving on. Wolverine says, from my source, I am. Just waiting for them to let me know what accounts are closed and settled at this time. Main thing is Friday. Yesterday, is the main deadline, so everything needs to be done by Friday. There's actually a whole explosion of things that will happen on or about that time because it's the beginning of a fiscal year. They are keeping everything quiet while they process and settle the accounts. They want to get everything started by the 1st, and the public goes in on the 15th. Right now, I've been checking every hour. And like I mentioned before, it's been a week since I did a video, but I've been taking information in, watching them say a day or an event, and then watching the next day to see if the day or the event occurs. Some cases it may have, most cases it did not, at least for all intents and purposes. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage anyone to believe that this is underway. I believe it is underway. I believe it is a controlled release. I believe it is a strategic release. And I believe there's all types of potholes and things that need to be overcome to do so. I believe that. And I'm okay with that. And I hope everybody else is okay with that. But it's Saturday now. It's not Friday. Let's keep going. They want to implement GCR and GESARA. There are 20 items that will start at that point. They already let us know that the 1st is the main date. The only thing they are doing at the banks is doing the final contracts. There are a lot of things happening at the banks, folks. That's a fact. My wife recently informed me that she received notification from her bank. Not a very small bank. Definitely interstate. It may be national level bank. And they're doing a system upgrade. And I told her they sound like they're behind, in all frankness. Okay, moving on. They are doing those conversions now. Once they finish with that, everything will push forward. So all I am doing is waiting for the bond traders and paymasters. Everything else is just the small stuff. All I am doing with every group is making sure that they have their decisions with the first 90 days. Everyone is well situated. There is nothing else to go over. The DLD has clamped down with just about everything. And that's something I did notice reading over the week is a lot of silence, a lot of silence, a lot of silence. Silence is good. Need to know basis, especially when the military is involved. The main players, then the paymasters, and then they will do the individuals. Like I mentioned, controlled release. Question, this is a hypothetical question. What happens if it does not happen on Friday? Well, guess what, Wolverine, it didn't, as far as we know. It's a hard date. It's a new fiscal year. With a new fiscal year, there are changes, and they cannot just continue. The new fiscal year implements GESARA. It is guaranteed to happen. Some of the points have already been implemented. Okay. Because it didn't come to us doesn't mean it didn't happen. I agree with that. And I will say again, what I actually believe is happening, and it has been happening. And fortunately, a lot of times when I shoot out off the wall with those type of ideas, eventually they turn out to be pretty accurate. And I think accurately stated that this is already happening and things have to go down. And I'm okay with that. I've said that many a time. I hope you're okay with it too. But even when you look at the news narrative with the fiscal budget and the war between the Democrats and Republicans and Houses and Senate votes on raising debt ceilings and pending catastrophe, and Jamie Dimon talking about the scare for the banks because of the default, and over in China, the Evergrande, all kinds of crazy things going on, all kinds of crazy things revolving around money because they couldn't have their war. But the system is going to crash briefly. So, because I'll say what I've always said. You have to get rid of the old to bring in the new. You have to get rid of the old to bring in the new. The thing about it is the old is fighting with their last breath. And as I go on and read some more of these items that I have for this video, you'll see that things are happening. So naysayers, if you're still bitter, I mean, quite frankly, I'm tired of it. I never understand the naysayers who get so excited and angry about this that it's just a sign of undisciplined investor, or I don't know. I don't know how to read that. I just know it doesn't make sense to me. But they hate on people, you know. So and so's of this and so's of that. So and so what? Really? I mean, really? So and so what? So what? You know? I don't want to go off on a rant. I did this video. I will tell you guys this. I tried to do a video a few days back. And I went off on a rant and I had to start over. And then I tried to do it again. And I went off on a rant and I had to start over. And then I tried to do it again. And I went off on a rant and I had to start over. And so I'm trying to avoid going off on a rant. But here I am ranting, right? Y'all gonna have to take it from me. I'm sorry. I love you. Holly says, good morning, roomies. I would like to say our October 1st fiscal year has started. I have heard nothing but good news yesterday. I do not want to say much. It looks like this week we should see things at our level. Well, we shall see. Because October 1st, today's October 2nd. It's a Saturday. So which week are we talking? The one we're coming out of or the one we're going into? It's all good. Frank, 26, who apparently had a surgery. I hope he's well. Like I said, I don't know him. He's just another human being. He's going through an illness that needs surgery, and I hope he's well. And if anybody says on my comments, Frank is a terrible guy for this or that, or Bruce is a terrible guy for this or that, if it's vulgar and insensitive and dogmatic, I probably will block it. I'm just telling you, I'll block it. I'm not gonna do that. If you got something to say, constructive or even in disagreement with the points made on the video, that's great. Do it, please. If you have something nice to say about somebody, anybody, go ahead and say it. I don't even have to know them. Just say how beautiful and person they are. That's great. If you bash people or you use harsh language that is not suitable for some people who it may be distasteful to, I'm gonna block it. I'm gonna block it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna tolerate it. Moving on. See, I go on these rants, y'all. Bear with me, okay? I don't know what's going on with me lately, but I got a lot to think about. So I got a lot to say, I guess. Firefly says, TV saying the Capital One Islamic banks are now merged with the International Islamic Capital One banks, saying this is part of the process to produce maximum efficiency for Iraqi banking. TV showing placement of the new ATMs in Mosul and surrounding provinces, saying banking sector will have all new ATMs in place in the near future. And this is a process of the reforms to enhance banking sector. All good news from boots on the ground, apparently, in Iraq. Bruce, there's good information, really good from Iraq. Iraq will be, now that they are a sovereign nation, they will be creating a holiday, sort of like an Independence Day, celebrated this Sunday. They expect to have their new international dinar rate out on Saturday. That's something, again, that needed to happen. So we're looking Sunday for Iraq to celebrate that. We should finally be able to see what the international rate is for the Iraqi dinar. Okay, I don't know. That makes sense, though. That makes sense. If they're declaring their independence, they're a sovereign nation again, that makes a whole lot of sense. And they are announcing a holiday, as you shall see after I get rid of this notice and this notice. Announcing an official holiday in several governments next Wednesday. Local governments and this several governments announced on Saturday the suspension of official working hours next Wednesday. An informed source told Mawazin News that the governments of Najaf and other provinces decided to suspend official working hours next Wednesday. The source added, this comes on the occasion of the death of the great messenger. May God bless him and his family. I don't know who they're talking about. And that's it for this. Let's keep on going. I gotta reload. It's been sitting there so long. Here's an update from Mark Z. Saturday, today. And he says, I know the chatter in Iraq is obscene. They are being pressured by the IMF and the UN. Everyone buckle up. He's not normally that excited. That's good to see coming out of his mouth. He's often very reserved in giving any kind of commitment. No new rate yet, true to form, but Iraq is being pressured by the IMF to get it done and adjust that rate immediately. I hear they are pushing to get it done before the next banking day starts over there. Tomorrow is still a bank holiday in Iraq. A member says they heard Iraq was going to announce Sunday, which is today for us. I didn't get any announcements, y'all, but that's all right. No CMKX yet. No one has seen any funds since yesterday afternoon, but the Iraq and IMF chatter is fantastic. It must be because it has them very excited. Okay, Isaac pops in and says, hello, looks like we are very close and some paymasters are waiting for codes. I will keep you posted. Also, my privates operations are telling me we are for next week. So very good news all over. Hope to have more good news tomorrow direct from the source. Also, they will explain how the QFS will work. And Mark goes on to say, banks are on the brink. Absolutely. Frank's surgery went well. Saturday Night Live. That's all right. Moving on. We're going to go to some more excerpts for the Restored Republic via a GCR update 10/2 today, 2021. And Judy Note offers some condolences for a friend and colleague, Martha Spencer, who died. May God be with Martha Spencer and remember her soul for a resurrection. Even though sick, homeless, and living in her car, and at times a cut-rate motel, Martha would spend her time 24/7 gathering information for you to read in this update. I will miss her cackling laugh and ever-positive attitude. Her humanitarian dream was to provide services to the homeless. It is my hope that those of us who benefited from her dedication to the global currency reset can now fulfill that dream for her, so she rests in peace. My thought, it would be almost evil and heinous to use the death of a friend or colleague or person and tie it into a farce called a global currency reset and humanitarian project type mentality, if it were not true. So whether it's true or not, I believe Judy, looks like Judy Byington, is genuine in her belief in what she's doing. That being said, I've never met Judy. I've never met Martha. I've never even spoken to Judy, and I can't speak to Martha. I don't hate them. They've never done anything to me. I didn't place my dreams and hopes on anything out of their mouth anyway. So if you go on my comments and you bash Judy, I'm not going to go with it. I'm not going to go with it. I love the ever positive attitude, she said, and so do I. So we shared that, and moving on. On Friday, 1 October, the U.S. Republic was restored to the concepts of the original Constitution. Now, as part of the global currency reset, a bankrupt cabal no longer had control over U.S. taxpayer dollars. I guess watch the news and see how much you can add to that to see evidence of truth. On Friday, 15th of October, they would announce implementation of the GESARA law, which included no more Federal Reserve, no more IRS. The U.S. would function on a flat tax system levied on new items only, with none on food or medicine. Okay, that's easy to find out. We only have to wait another less than 2 weeks to see if that comes to be. But I do remember Q said that gold will destroy the Fed. So if we're going to convert to gold-backed money, it says here there will be no more Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve is just the United States way of saying central bank. So that sounds like a death of the central bank fiat system. Time will tell. Moving on. Activation of the emergency broadcast system and the time for Tier 4B, us, the Internet Group, to set redemption currency exchange appointments were military decisions dependent upon a quantum computer's analysis of the status of international crises events going on right now, including an apparent collapse of the global monetary system. I expect to see, if at least a brief collapse of the global monetary system, as I said in the prior video, and as I said many times for many years now to colleagues and friends of mine that we hold conference calls with. You have to get rid of the old to bring in the new. And as many of us get older, I hope they don't get rid of us. As we've seen, people are dying off. I've had a friend dying off. Martha's died off. And I'm sure most of us who've been in this for any amount of time know of someone who's died. And that's the reason to live your life. Live your life for its joy and its humanity, not for its money. The IMF asked that the kingpin of the GCR, Global Currency Reset, the Iraqi dinar's international rate would go public on Saturday, 2 October, while Iraq had already given their word that the Dinar international rate release would happen this week. That ended on that Saturday, 2 October. I haven't heard it and I haven't checked. Maybe somebody can. Restored Republic, World War III is now. This is an attack against our country. Cutting supplies of countries is an act of war, creating massive shortages. Time for militaries to take over now. Are you ready to take back your country? Ready to take back your freedom? Time is now. We're at the end of World War III, where the good ones, the people, wins. Let's get rid of the globalist satanic enemies once and for all. Okay, I did a video, World War III, XRP is the bomb. I do believe this is a war. I've said that many times, and if you watch my videos, you know that. And I have seen video images of barge ships loaded with supplies out in the water not coming in. So there is some hard evidence to substantiate that could be connected to this being accurate and true. And what it says there, cutting supplies of a country is an act of war, that is also true. One of the things that comes to my mind, though, is how when President Trump was in office, he worked very hard on American independence, American energy independence, and basically product independence. And so maybe that's something that we all should have been doing as well. When they released back, I think in 2017, he said American Preparedness Month, National Preparedness Month. And so, seems to me that they were preparing this country for what they knew was coming, and hopefully many of us have prepared our homes and our lives for what is coming. The COVID-19 has put many of us in our homes way longer than what we ever anticipated, cost many their jobs and all kinds of things going on. Hopefully it's been a time for you to effectively, paint the blood of the lamb on your doorpost for when things do go down, figuratively speaking. And at the same time, hopefully you got your supplies up and ready. And you're not in no video image fighting over toilet paper like they did last time, making a mockery of the American citizen. All right, moving on. According to the Great Awakening World Telegram site, the beginning of 3-day scare event, false flag scenario, begins today. On Tuesday the 5th, beginning of 10 days of darkness, where the mass media satellite system was taken down and 8-hour information videos giving new revelations would be broadcast 24/7 on TV, radio, and phones using the new Starlight satellite system. The 15th, the end of 10 Days of Darkness, announcement of implementation of GESARA, Red October. It took them hundreds of years to build their evil empire, and it took 6 years to crash it down completely. Looks like the stock market crashed lately. Red October will be epic. There were images of red lights on the White House, too. A lot of this stuff has at least circumstantial evidence to support it. Okay, Fleming Report. We got good news and no news to share on this day, the first day of a new year for a destructive, bankrupt U.S. government. The good news first, since it's all that matters. Every attempt at destroying our livelihood and our spirit, sense of freedom, our resolve remains intact. We are all proving amazingly resilient in the face of adversity. We, in Tier 4, know that in every way, our every thought is manifesting. Collectively, we've anchored the belief that right here, right now, love will prevail. God is pitching for our team. Nothing can deter us from our vision of a beautiful turnaround coming right now. With the start of the new fiscal year comes pressing demands for immediate action, both legal and lawful. There are multiple actions from well-meaning individuals leading national efforts, both in the United States of America and internationally, to coalesce the grand finale to bring about the grand new start. We've heard all about the scope and scale of this endeavor. What we've not heard about, for obvious reasons, is the minutiae leading to the big reveal. Will this include a new financial system? Yes, but not one led by their fiat schemes. Will this include the opportunity to exchange our currencies, redeem our ZIM government bond notes? Yes, this is the plan. Reason being, we are the ones that will fund the resurrection of this beautiful planet rising from the onslaught of the present criminal agenda. The new system of government for U.S., the restored republic, a federation of states honoring each state's rights, safeguarded by a national coalition led by newly lawfully elected individuals, will be created once the signal is given, like Paul Revere. The redcoats are coming. For Tier 4B, it might be the EBS, for Tier 4, it might be the EBS, the Emergency Broadcast System. We will begin our transition from onlookers, bystanders, to activists, taking back this nation, leading the way for people in every nation to follow suit. The process for creating this safe world is ready. There are a few verified known steps to take, and in one fell swoop, the monolith will fall to be reborn anew, rightfully. Sounds like a phoenix, doesn't it? The ability to exchange our fiat currencies for solid, asset-backed currency has been in the process already for years. Man, I used to say that, and I used to put up with so much slap and smack for that. Many have moved forward with the privately bank-facilitated exchange with a window time established showing a solid rate for currency and leaving these lucky souls with assets on account, spendable with a lien against the asset. This is especially true with those who have exchanged their dinar, easily valued as discussed and demonstrated by Iraqi nationals living here in the U.S., with their pronounced key, I said that in one of my videos, card, which this week is showing 1 IQD equals $3.95. There have been thousands that have already benefited from this exchange, though privately facilitated deals. These thousands won't benefit either, not until Tier 4 has their exchange. This is written in the contract, the global treaty negotiated for this grand event. I think we can all feel the build-up. But there you have a rate. $3.95. Do the math. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Once this is internationally recognized and launched, we here in the U.S. and all over the world will be able to exchange our dinars just the same. It's not international yet. There were no announcements in the mosques, which is what we are absolutely expecting. What's the holdup? Iraq is still following the U.S. Treasury's lead. That's our best guess. We're waiting for the grand event to take us to the next level. All currencies will revalue simultaneously as a new financial system is launched. This might as well be written in stone. It is going to happen. Exactly when it will happen is unknown. I do not have much issue with this. Of course, it's speculative. It could not be. Of course, it has a lot of stuff in it, but some of it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that the new financial system has to be launched together all at once. And like I've said many, many times, you can't trade your maple leaves for gold leaves. Everybody has to get on board. What else? That's the end of that one. Okay, and just some real brief points to show that really things are going on. Over in Venezuela, they introduced a new currency with 6 fewer zeros. Now, this is not new. They've done it before. But at least it's something to consider if you are invested in the Bolivar. They have released new money. A new currency with 6 fewer zeros debuted Friday in Venezuela, whose currency has been made nearly worthless by years of the world's worst inflation. But the new bills were difficult to find in the capital, where consumer fears that prices will continue to spiral upward proved to be right. Today I went to the supermarket and everything was marked in dollars. Lourdes Portello, an office worker, said in a shopping center in the east side of Caracas. In the end, I couldn't buy anything. I didn't have enough money. Before the adjustment, the highest denomination was a 1 million Bolivar bill that was worth a little less than a quarter as of Thursday. The new currency tops out at 100 Bolivars, a little less than $25, until inflation starts to eat away at that as well. Now, I don't know where that fits in for those of you that have the Bolivar, but you can start doing the math to see if your time has come or is coming real soon, because it ain't just about the Iraqi dinar. I've said that many times, and as we read previously, it's a global thing. Many currencies will change all at once. But here it says 100 Bolivars are worth a little less than $25. Let's do the math, see what you got. It's 1,000,001 change for the Bolivar is intended to ease both cash transactions and bookkeeping calculations in Bolivars that now require juggling almost endless strings of zeros. That can't go on. All right. It goes on to say the debit card payment processing systems or accounting systems for companies are not intended for hyperinflation, but for a normal economy. In other words, they're not designed for all those zeros. And that is also more evidence of what you'll continue to hear in my videos about the transition over to a digital economy, virtual money, cryptocurrency, on-demand liquidity, distributed ledger technology. It goes on and on and on and on, because that's how the payment systems are working. And so Venezuela apparently is getting in sync to be able to work with those payment systems. You got to put all these pieces together. You got to step away from the Iraqi tree and look at the global forest. And things are happening, folks. Things are happening. What else we got on here? Okay, that's all. That's a hint. Okay, so that's the news. I know this one took a little longer than I thought as well, but at least I got these 2 videos out for the audience. I'll try to be a little bit more timely and getting some videos out. Life sometimes makes you have to drag your feet on one thing to speed up your step on others. I appreciate everybody stopping by for my videos. I appreciate if you would like my videos, if you like them. If you don't, that's okay. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back. And I hope you have a wonderful life. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. I've talked about it. Have a wonderful night.